Hi everyone, welcome to The Marathon, a show where we interview entrepreneurs that are breaking barriers, that are adding value into the society. Business is a marathon. When you think you are there, you're not yet there. You just have to keep on building. It's a journey. You're never there. Today we've got Mr. Soli, the CEO and the founder of Moripe Holdings. Mr. Soli, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
I am highly blessed, sir.
Thank you very much. And thank you for inviting us to the Marathon Show. We really appreciate it. Thanks, boss.
It means the world to us as well to have people of your caliber that are adding value, into this thing called entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
How has been the journey so far? How did you guys start the company?
Yeah, it has been a long journey, a marathon indeed. We have been in existence since 2003. When I started in 2003, I started with my partner, Solomon Moripe. When we started, actually even before we started, I was working for Standard Bank for 4 years. And I decided to fire them, but mainly it was because during that 4 years, I was always involved in missionary deeds or projects, because I started a youth club called Channel Youth Club in Middlelands, Soweto, where we were basically assisting students on Saturday classes and things like that. We did HIV/AIDS during that time, campaigns, going to schools and things like that. But at the same time, I was still working for Standard Bank, and actually I was using resources of Standard Bank to run this NGO of mine. And I think that's where we picked up, and even my partner then was part and parcel of Channel Youth Club. Then we saw, but this, I can do it anytime, whether it's at night, weekends and things like that. What if we pursue this thing as a business? And that's how the idea started. And in January 2003, I fired Standard Bank, and I started, initially we used to call it Babereki Learning Consulting, because it was going to focus on human capital. How do we develop human beings to be better people and things like that. Yeah, so, and that's how we started, and we started organizing workshops at schools with the Department of Education, teaching people on work readiness, teaching on issues of HIV. And yeah, as they say, maybe as the time or the interview goes on, I will share more. But yeah, up to now, we are still standing, but we have evolved as well. Hence, today we are called Moripe Holdings, not only Babereki Learning Consultants.
Nice. In terms of your footprint,
Yes.
in the country,
Yes.
are you guys mainly based in Joburg? And to start a business with your partner,
Yes.
sometimes in relationship it has strengths. How was it for you starting a business with your partner?
Yeah, let me go first with the first question, and I'll go to the second question, of which is a bit hard, but I'll try to summarize it. So the footprint is in 4 provinces. We are in Gauteng, here in Joburg. Free State, we are in Bethlehem. Northwest in Rustenburg. Limpopo, we are in Bagasford. But going to Mpumalanga in the KwaNdebele, KwaMhlanga, so is the next where we are going to open our offices, because we already have projects there. So the second question, speaking about with a partner, you really need a right fit. And I don't want to lie, I think I was blessed to find Batseba to be my partner, because like I indicated earlier on, we were together in the, actually even before we were together in this youth club, we were already have a relationship. And when I started this youth club, she was at school, I was at university. And then she said, no, let's go for it. Then she was my one supporter, and then she really believed in the youth club, and she showed it. Basically, she was a project coordinator. And then, so it became easy for us, because it was just the transition from an NGO to a business. And really, that's really how it went. But it has its own issues, because you need to be professional, because from the NGO side of it, because that NGO as well was very capacitated, had a lot of membership. Maybe we had at one point, I think, over 100 members that were under our control. So you needed to be professional. Whether as a project manager, if she did not do the work, I will have to tell her right in front of people. So it's those challenges and dynamics. But because this is a marathon, like your show say, you know, there will always be ups and downs. We are people, you will make mistakes at times. But what happened with her is that she understood. Or let me say, both of us were emotionally matured. And we had that emotional intelligence to understand, to say when is professional thing, when is time to do family things.
You know, there's a stigma currently in our country when you hear an individual saying maybe they are doing enterprise development.
Sure.
Already you think, ooh, money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just explain to me, what is enterprise development and what makes your business to be different than other enterprise development? Earlier on, you touched a very important aspect, you know, emotionally intelligent and human, building the human being. You know, what makes you guys unique, and what is enterprise development? Because somehow it gets lost there. People that don't fully understand what is enterprise development.
All right. So what I will do first, I will answer it in two-pronged. Let me start with our business, then I'll go to the enterprise development and try to explain it. So, Moripe Holdings mission, why we exist, we say we are in business to develop profitable, sustainable, and growing businesses. So that's what informs us. So anything that we do, or everything, all the products and services needs to relate to this particular mission, to say how do we assist an entrepreneur to be profitable, to be sustainable, and to grow as well, and so that they create job employment and things like that. So what you need to understand about enterprise development as a whole is a comprehension or maybe a lot of multidisciplinary efforts in order to make sure that we create enterprises, and those enterprises, they are sustainable. So its roots comes from the BBBEE Act, whereby it was identified that entrepreneurship is important in the economy of the country, and therefore, but how can we get funding or resources in order to sustain it? So there are BBBEE or BBBEE itself, it has codes, and one of those codes, they speak about enterprise development, where big companies have 3% of their profit per annum. They need to basically distribute it, I don't want to say donate it, distribute it for the development of things. But actually, and one of those things, it includes skills development, it includes issues of resources, it includes issues of market linkage, it includes things like paying SMME maybe within 7 days instead of 30 days, that is normal. It includes, so it's anything that will enhance the SMME to be more sustainable and going forward. Yes, it does include financing as well to some of them, but usually at a soft rate, so sort of soft loans, such as we'll give you a loan without interest, or we'll give you a loan but you'll start paying it maybe after a year. So it's what enterprise development is all about. So where we saw ourselves from the beginning, it was always on training, to offer accredited training. So we are accredited with about 5 seaters now countrywide, but our primary seater is services seater. So that's what we do, but we don't only do training only. And that's why where we differentiate ourselves, because it was like, okay, you train us, but how does training assist us to be profitable? I mean, we've been there, we have t-shirts for trainings and certificates to show that we have attended training. So we said, okay, what else can we do? So it became clear that in our analysis that sales or customer acquisition is very important for sustainability of a SMME. So Moripe Sales Agency was established. So what Moripe Sales Agency is doing, in addition to Moripe Business Academy, our core business has always been training, but what we did to add value to our clients was to add Moripe Sales Agency, and its sole purpose basically is to ensure that our clients, they can be linked to market. And so we'll make an example that if you do bottled water, for example, who is looking for bottled water? So ours is to go out there and link you with that person so that you can increase your sales. But then the challenge arose as well to say, okay, we will link people, and initially we were linking them with your ESCOM, SOAs, Transnet and things like that. And then the immediate question was, okay, no, it's fine. We are looking for black suppliers, but are they compliant? So we found out that they were not compliant, most of them. Therefore, Moripe compliance was established to assist them from the basics of your tax clearance, your registration, your QMS, quality management systems, or your safety file. So Moripe compliance was to plug that thing problem. But then you will get now the client, let's say it was versus bottled water. So ESCOM says, no, but I need 10,000 of this per week. And Voo's capacity was only to do 1,000 per week. So the issue was, now what do we do? And then Moripe Financial Services was established to increase that capacity, to say, how can we assist you on asset financing in order to be able to expand and capacitate yourself? And maybe finance for working capital. But then initially when we started, we were only doing the facilitation. We will facilitate to the DFIs like NEF, National Empowerment Fund, or CIFA, and NYDA for young people. So that's what we will do. But then the frustration came as well to say, no, the process takes too long, it will take 6 months, and the opportunity is lost then and then. So we decided to be brave enough to say, oh, okay. And then Moripe Capital was established. And Moripe Capital, when it was established, it was microfinance. So we are accredited with NCR as to give loans ourselves to SA. But we are still in the range of 500 to, initially we said 20,000, but we quickly found out that 20,000 really does not really mean much. And then we increased it to 50,000, up to 50,000, but special cases. But otherwise, because our SMME, our clients, most of the time you will find they will need just a machinery to package this thing is 15,000, things like that. So that's the reason why we did. But then the last part of Moripe Holdings is Moripe Business Consulting, where we offer coaching and mentoring. Because why? You will find entrepreneurs say, but yeah, you know what? I'm good in technically to do bottled water and things like that. But man, don't tell me about forward planning, strategy, evaluation, systems, and things like that. Can't you come and assist? That's the reason why we do mentoring and coaching on the business consulting. So we are trying our level best to give a more comprehensive solution or integrated solutions to the enterprise development. And I think that's how we managed to succeed over all these years. It's not easy because most of the time you'll find that Voo C is unable to pay for our services. Therefore, we need to look for the second client who's paying for Voo C's needs and things like that. Yeah, so, and I think with that, it makes us very unique, but in addition, we still give. We don't just take, like we are strategically, or we have strategic relationship with TVETs like Southwest Gauteng colleges, where we offer free seminars as well. We offer free training most of the time, just to empower as many entrepreneurs as possible. We are in a relationship with City of Joburg as well, and so forth. So basically, we are as well trying to establish strategic relationship with relevant people.
Nice. It seems, you know, with SMEs, there's this connotation when it comes to profit, and what's aligned to getting that profit, or aligned to getting a sell. You know, it's easy sometimes to get a sell, but when it comes to payments, you find clients sometimes they don't pay, and as a result, SMEs, they don't grow or they don't sustain themselves because there's no reconditioning around that aspect. What's your take as an enterprise as you are playing in that space in terms of developing these entrepreneurs? Because people, they think entrepreneurship is easy, you know, but there's a lot of different chains that need to be aligned for you to get that sell and for your business to be really, really profitable. Hence, Moripe Holdings has identified gaps within that space. What's your take about, you know, the conditioning of these entrepreneurs that you guys meet that don't have knowledge, or they are only skilled on certain skill, but they don't fully understand what is a sell, what it takes, and what should be the conversation around that for sustainability as entrepreneurs or as SMEs?
Grace, thanks for that question. Actually, it's very important, because you will know that most of the SMMEs that are established, they die within the first 2 years. They say about over 80%. And the reason is exactly what you are calling it. I will use your terminology, conditioning. I will say preparing the entrepreneur themselves. Now, entrepreneurs, they don't understand that they are their biggest asset of the business. And a business will grow or will collapse based on leadership. I think I usually say, you see, the business model might be easy, is a simpler part to say how I'm going to get the customer and the service that I'm going to offer and how I'm going to deliver it. That's the easier part. But to manage all those processes and you giving proper direction is where the challenge is. I will come to the profit at the later stage. I did not forget that. But you see, people, when they go into business, what they have is to say, I want to make as much money as possible and as easier as possible and things. Not thinking, how do I build a pipeline? So we have a mindset of short-termism. How do I, and because if in business you don't have patience, you will be a patient, because you will start making a lot of mistakes and things like that, because chasing for money, not really building a system that will come in for it. And then when you start building a system, most of us, or most of the entrepreneurs, they say, I'm in business for money. But I want to find out with this analogy. By the way, I used to believe it as well in my early stages, to say, if I get money, this profit, do I go and take it and withdraw it from my bank account and go to my room and celebrate? Oh yes, here's the money. Or no. The issue is, we want that money for another things. There's a deeper question. It's either it's for the lifestyle, It's either it's for meaning, you want to do certain things to develop the community, or 3 as well is either for freedom, or it's a combination of the 3. That's the reason why we are doing. And then as soon as you understand that framework, that actually the business is a tool to create the money so that I can achieve my mission and my passion, then you get to understand that it's not really about profit and things like that. Now, the issue of profit of money, people don't take time. People are technically good, but they don't take time to learn the soft skills of business and of business acumen. I mean, basic thing, people can't make a difference between turnover and a profit. Or if they know about profit, they will know up to gross profit. They think, oh, okay, I've paid my things now, so what is left is mine, therefore I can spend. So people don't invest, or let me say SMME don't invest in themselves. And I can tell you most of the richest or successful entrepreneurs, they invest in themselves, including, I mean, I usually even make this example, including our billionaire, Mr. Moripe, he still goes to summits. It's still part and parcel of association where they meet with other businesses. That's to share ideas. The idea is to, they understand, if I get more information, then I get to improve my level of exposure and ideas that's coming up, and how to manage my businesses and things like that. And therefore, you are able to plan around in the long term in order to get to whatever profitability that you need. Because even that profitability, you still need to know how much profit do you need. But people don't have strategic plans. They don't even have budgets. So, but it's because of they don't invest in themselves. So that is why we think as Moripe Holdings, there's a space that we are playing to say, let's assist our SMME to invest in themselves, because as soon as you develop yourself, it's easier to develop your business and your team that surrounds you.
Nice. What has been some of the successful stories? You know, like they say, you know, for one to truly make it sometimes in life, you are selfless, you help, there's a need. You become selfless in the community. That's what you guys do, you know, helping entrepreneurs, changing their generational, you know, transformation in terms of wealth, you know, and reconditioning them, you know. What has been some of the successful stories that you could say, you know, this, you know, when I look at this individual, Vusi, you know, when he came here, he was clueless about business. You know, he wanted the nice car, you know, he wanted the nice house in Sandton, but he didn't really fully understand what is value. And he has grown to a certain level.
There are many, there are many. But then if I have to pick one particular one, I'll say Jorisa cabling network. They are into electricity storage. So what happened with Jorisa was Johannesburg is his name, the owner. He was employed by this Dimension Data, if I can mention the name. And then he had challenges, I think, with Dimension Data. I said, but you have so much skill, you are a qualified electrician. Why don't you start your own business? So as we speak now, you know, Maponya Mall, he's maintaining Maponya Mall Electric. Actually was involved in the beginning of putting Maponya Mall or cabling and things like that. First National Bank Stadium, FNB, as we know it. So now he has grown up to, he's into across Africa, he's in Mozambique, he's employing over 40 to 50 people depending on the projects and things like that. So this is one individual, when I see him, I really put smile in my face. And I can tell you with him, he did not even pay 1 cent. Because I knew him from childhood, but I knew he was skilled in terms of his hands. And then I took it as a project. And to see it where it is now, I'm very proud. But on an institutional basis, what we are proud of at the moment, lately, is the new program that we have established of I'm not a job seeker, I'm a job creator, whereby now on a monthly basis, we do a business shower, not baby shower, business shower, whereby we go and firstly inspire young people who have ideas but who are unable to kickstart their ideas. We do that with NYDA and SWGC. They will identify them, and then we'll do inspirational show and then train them and mentor them. So out of those, you know, every month from like 5 months back, we are opening a new store and every time when you see them saying, you know, I never thought this was possible, and here we are today opening my own store with my own equipment, with my own stuff. I can't believe it. For me, it brings joy to say at least we are in the right channel as Moripe Holdings.
Nice. Passion, skill, sustainability, those three things, they really ally, they are really interlinked,
yes,
or they are linked,
yes,
as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You know, I can see the passion in you burning when you're expressing, you know, the success stories and the great work that you guys are doing here. When entrepreneurs are starting business, what would you advise? Would you advise them to go for, you know, because there's this notion where if I'm an entrepreneur and I start a business, that I'm going to make money quick.
Yes.
But I forget about passion.
Yeah,
you know, I usually say to my colleagues, I'm so blessed that for the past 15 years to 20 years, I've never worked. I don't call this work.
Definitely.
This is passion.
Definitely.
You know, what's your take, or what advice would you say to entrepreneurs about passion and really understanding their passion and turning their passion into a business model?
Yeah.
You know?
I can tell you, Vusi, that's the ideal, you know, for everyone to, like myself, I'm very blessed myself to do what I do. I can do this, what I do, for free. So long as I can be able to sustain myself, I don't mind. Actually, at times I'm surprised when people pay me for things like that. But that's the ideal situation, but reality is not that way. So my take into it, you know, there are different types of entrepreneurs, and there are many reasons that makes people to go into entrepreneurship. At times it's the circumstances that they go into entrepreneurship by default. Some, they see opportunities, there are opportunities, and there's nothing wrong with that. Others, they follow passion, like you are saying. Others, they are traders, or they call it professionals, because of they know this skill, they come from school, like lawyers, accountants, and things like that. So there's a mirror. You might be an accountant, but really you are not really passionate about numbers, but you are good with numbers. You know, you went there, you went to the school, and then you qualified, and therefore you can start a business. So my advice to anyone is, once you have identified a space to play at, learn it and pay the necessary school fees in terms of learn, provide services, even if you have to volunteer at times you need to offer it for free in order to be knowledgeable, so that you become an expert in that. So like they say, the business pays in 2 coins. 1 is cash, 2 is experience. So I always say, take the experience first and the money will follow. However, you don't have to be rooted to your passion. If you get it, go for it, because that's the ideal thing. But at times there are opportunities that are there. I think the problem becomes when, okay, today is catering, tomorrow you are lawn mowing, tomorrow you are a taxi owner, or you are in logistics and things like that. Therefore, there comes a confusion, you see. However, but if you can identify where you are good at and learn the space, learn the sector, be knowledgeable about it, I can tell you that experience will bring money. Money will come. Yeah. So I will say, go for it. Identify your niche and go for it.
There's currently in our country, right? There's high unemployment rates,
Sure.
and it's the youth that are unemployed, you know. And there's this conversation that's happening to say entrepreneurship is the answer, you know. As you know, the CEO of Moripe Holdings and playing in this space,
Yes.
what's your take, or what should be the conversation be about entrepreneurship and this thing called unemployment? Because you meet that every day, you know, like you know, you are in this space of, you know, grooming entrepreneurs, you know, making them to be aware about certain things and how they can grow value. What should be the conversation in our country about these and the high rate of unemployment and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, obviously, maybe my answer will be obvious that I promote entrepreneurship as an alternative career. Hence, we have this program. I'm not a job seeker, I'm a job creator. But I agree as well that not everyone is designed or is wired to be an entrepreneur. However, I think out of all the solutions that have been suggested, is one of the key solutions. That because my experience is that all of us, we have the entrepreneurship element in us. The issue might be the technicality to come with the model of how to unleash it, or the courage to get there, because it's not an easy thing to sustain it. So I will add my voice to say, yes, entrepreneurship is a way to go, but we need to share with our fellow thing to say it's not a rosy thing, because now I can see we are romanticizing entrepreneurship. But I might be guilty of that because I do motivation as well. I still believe it is the way to go. We need actually now to embed in our curriculum from primary school to get into, because what you can see when you embed it, if there's high unemployment, but if you are skilled and you have this business acumen thing, people, you are able to survive. I mean, currently in our country, South Africa, you see there's a problem of where we say, no, our fellow African brothers, they need to go, they are taking our jobs, there's unemployment. But if you look at guys from Mozambique or Zimbabwe, because they have technical skills and they were embedded, their education embedded entrepreneurship, they know if there's not employment, they can create their own alternative employment. And they are able to survive in the environment where there's high unemployment in South Africa, but they are able to survive because they have the entrepreneurial skills in them. So for me, entrepreneurial skills is a life skills that we need to teach people, because anyway, when we are born, all of us, we have in ourselves that entrepreneurial spirit. Because I can tell you, anyone, ask anyone, even share, they've thought of a business. Oh, one day I will own my business. Oh, one day I want to own my business. I've never met someone who, when I ask them to say, have you never thought of owning a business? Say, no, I've never. Others, they will say, I thought about it, but I took a decision, I don't want to be a business person. But at least they thought, they never that there's a potential. So let us unleash that potential for those who wants to pursue other career. Because we need them, because they are the job creators. We need them because with their job creation, it will create a more economic that is more favorable, and they will assist as well. So I'm the advocate for entrepreneurship and encouraging young people to start their own business.